Hi guys, welcome to Top Wisdom. Today I'm going to talk about the poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. The poem is by Robert Frost. It's a very famous poem, but it's not really that complicated. So I'm going to explain it. You're definitely going to understand it. It's a very short poem though. It's not really big, so I'm going to explain it as far as possible, and I'm going to make sure you understand it when you're done watching this video. So I'm going to start by explaining the challenging words. I'm going to start by saying glossary, which I'm going to start by this word cure, which is strange. Harness, which is leather strap used to control a horse. It's a leather strap used to control a horse. Then downy, soft, light, feathery, like the down or feathers of a goose. That's downy. So I'm done explaining the glossary. Now I'm going to explain about the poet, Robert Frost. Born in United States of America in 1874, died in 1963. He is regarded as one of the most popular and respected poets of the 20th century. He won 4 Pulitzer Prizes in his lifetime. That is about the poet, which is not really that important. If you are in grade 10, it's not really that important. But what is important here is about the poem. Here is the most important thing about the poem. This is for grade 10. If you want to understand this, you must understand these following things about the poem. The poem is a lyrical and has a formal structure. 4 stanza in iambic meter. There are 4 stressed syllables per line. Within each stanza, the first and second and fourth lines rhyme. The third line does not rhyme, but it sets up the rhymes for the next stanza. The last stanza is absent from this pattern, which with the last 2 lines repeated. The poet uses everyday colloquial language. The simplicity highlights the conventional tone. He does not need to elaborate figures of the speech or formal language to paint the picture of the reader. The poet uses everyday colloquial language. The simplicity highlights the conventional tone. He does not need to elaborate figures of speech or formal language to paint the picture for the reader. So that's about the poem. I've explained the most important things about the poem, which I said the poem is a lyrical and has a formal structure. This thing I just said right now should not be forgotten, that the poem is lyrical and has a formal structure. You should not forget that when you write your exams. It's very, very important, guys. It's very, very important. So now I'm going to the analysis. The poem seems simple on the surface. The speaker stops by some woods on a snowy evening and lingers so long that his horse becomes restless. He admires the lovely scene in silence and is tempted to stay longer until he thinks about his obligations and the distance he still has to travel. On a deeper level, the desolate woods are not just lonely, but dark and deep as well. The obliterating snow and the black night have connotation of danger, isolation, and death. This contrast between what is known and unknown, between what is lovely and frightening, evokes a mood that is both sinister and magical. The title of the poem creates an immediate present, the in stopping. It is also interesting to note that the speaker is not in the woods, but rather by the woods. The speaker is isolated from other people and seems to enjoy the solitude and oneness with nature. The speaker enjoys oneness with nature. This is one of the key words. The speaker enjoys oneness with nature. And the poem is simple on the surface. As I've said, that the poem is simple in the surface. So now I've explained the analysis. They are also important. The analysis are also important. So the poem is very, very short. It's not a long poem, as I've said, and it's not a really complicated poem. I've just explained it, and it's not really complicated. It's very straightforward. There's no need for me to explain a long thing that doesn't make any sense. This is a straightforward thing. It makes sense. So the questions you might expect to on exam, for example, if you're writing exams, if you're in grade 10, if you're writing exam, the speaker is torn between wanting to stay and needing to leave. Discuss the contrast by referring to the dishing in the poem. Discuss how the regular rhythm affects the overall atmosphere of the poem. Identify and explain the affective of assonance in stanza 3, and all and all and all. Those are the questions you might expect, as here I've written here, and you can see for yourself. These are the questions you might expect, so you should stay focused on those questions most of the time, because some of them, they are tricky. So guys, don't forget to subscribe and like the video and share the video so that others will get the same information from this video, of course. And when you subscribe, don't forget to check other videos of grade 10 where I summarize poems, and there's also business studies here. So subscribe.